So, someone brought to my attention that Pokemon is still a quote-unquote baby game for many schools. And I've done videos in the past before about this, but I wanted to talk about Pokemon the game itself, how it's not exactly a baby game, and talk about fashion, because that's one of the biggest things also that affects schools and things like that. So, that's what we're going to be discussing today. The game I'm going to be playing in the background is Pokemon, and you can kind of get a look at if it's a baby game or not when you're watching the gameplay footage. You can figure out if it's for children or not. So the first thing I want to say is that regarding fashion, you need to rep whatever you want to rep. Now I've got to throw it out there. These companies like Nike, Air Jordan, these companies don't give a fucking shit about you. And if you wear their products, all you're doing is advertising for them. You're just giving them free money, free marketing. You might as well sell your fucking self, because at the very least, if you sell yourself and wear their shit, you're getting paid by them to wear it. But when you just do it for free, you're a fucking sap. Now, if they make good products, like Nike obviously makes some good shoes, okay? No problem. Wear the shoes if they're comfortable for you. But if they're uncomfortable and you're just wearing them to show off and fit in, conformity is bullshit. Conformity is good, and it is, just to a point though. But, you know, being shamed into conforming by paying for an overpriced shoe, that's silly, okay? That's how I view it. That's how I see it. You could argue with me and say, bullshit, Proto. You know, Nike and Air Jordans, you gotta represent. Represent for fucking what? When you're done with high school, dude, ain't no one gonna give a goddamn shit what the fuck you wear. Nobody is going to fucking care. Go to your local fucking supermarket wearing fucking rags and shit. You might get a few looks, but nobody's gonna give a fucking shit. And this is the shit that pisses me off the most. Because when you're going through high school, your grades from freshman to senior is the biggest grade period that is going to shape you as a person. And when you hit that fucking graduation period and you graduate, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a skewed perception of life. You're not going to know what the fuck to do, think, how to conform, and things like that, because your high school has fucked you over so much. So much so into thinking that you shouldn't be playing Pokemon because it's a kid game. Or you shouldn't be wearing a certain hat and representing a certain video game franchise because it's childish. Well, guess what? When you're 18, there's no one there to yell at you about what is and what isn't childish, what is and what isn't fashionable. When you're 18, you can tell those people to fuck off. And if anyone comes up and attacks you randomly because of what you wear, they go to fucking prison. This is life. High school is like prison, dude. You have to stay together with a bunch of people. When you get attacked, nothing fucking happens to the person except for a few days suspension. If you beat the shit out of someone, nothing's gonna happen to you except for a few days suspension. It's fucking crazy as fuck up in high school, man. It's ridiculous. You're there to get an education, but that's the farthest thing from what you're getting. Most people there have to worry about a social structure, a hierarchy, and just bullshit. All because they like a certain video game franchise or series. And I find that to be incredibly, incredibly disheartening for anyone who wants to be an individual. I encourage everyone out there who goes to high school, go homeschool. Go get yourself homeschooled. You need to discipline yourself and say that you can do it. It's the same as fucking college, man. You get on your computer for a few hours a day, you do the work, then you're off. Just like regular school, but with a lot less time put in. And you get the same results, and you don't have to deal with that bullshit social hierarchy structure. You've already made it through the grade schools. You already know how to be social with people, so it's not as if you're lacking that. So homeschooling would be the best option. But as far as Pokemon, the game series, is for babies, it's interesting that people say that. Do you mean children? Because at the very least, children can read. 7 to 8-year-olds can read pretty damn well. So if Pokemon's for a 7 or 8-year-old, I can concede that. It is rated E for everyone. Everyone can play it. But when you play the game, you have to know what the fuck you're doing. You have to know how to play an RPG. Otherwise, you're not gonna beat the fucking game. Good fucking luck getting through the goddamn first gym with a bunch of fucking Weedles and Caterpies in your starter. Oh, you picked Charmander because he's a fire lizard? Yeah, good luck getting through Brock's gym with a Caterpie, a Pidgey, and a fucking Charmander. You don't know fucking shit because you're a goddamn kid. You're a child. You don't know how to fucking play the game and you didn't learn. See, I find it hilarious when people call Pokemon a childish game because children, first off, have to read. If you're going to call it a baby game, then that's just ridiculous because I can show you some fucking baby games. I can show you a Sesame Street game where all you have to do is press the A button to fucking win. But childish? Yeah, I'll concede that it's pretty simple for children to grasp the concept at a certain age and go with it. Lots of video games do that. Lots of video games appeal to children, and it helps them learn and grow. But with Pokemon, you have to learn to read, and you had better read what they're telling you to do. Otherwise, you're going to be walking around cities trying to figure out where the fuck to go. Oh, why is this person at this gate not letting me through? He keeps saying he's thirsty. Oh, maybe I should go get him a fucking drink. That's cognitive reasoning. And without that cognitive reasoning, you'll never get through the game. It just won't happen. You won't be able to get through Pokemon because you need cognitive reasoning, you need reading, you need strategic abilities. Without those strategic abilities, without that cognitive reasoning, you're never going to be able to win the battles. At the very heart, it is simplistic rock, paper, scissors. But if you can't understand that simplistic system, you won't win the game. I have seen videos of a baby beating Street Fighter V. I have seen videos of children beating Five Nights at Freddy's. To say that Pokemon is a baby game is the farthest thing from the truth. The truth is that when Pokemon was popular, for many of the children growing up, they identified with it. They loved it throughout grade school and maybe into the upper grade school. But when you hit high school, there's supposed to be this plateau, this line, this invisible ceiling where once you step on up to it, you're not allowed to appreciate and enjoy the games that you once did. The video games, the toys, action figure shows. You're not allowed to watch that stuff. You're a big kid now, right? It's just like what I say when you hit 18. As soon as you hit 18, oh, you're an adult. You know exactly what to do now, right? And everyone looks at you and considers you an adult, regardless to if you are or are not, mentally, physically, emotionally, or if you even have the experience to live on your own. You're still an adult, you better get the fuck out there and do something. And that's how almost everyone in this fucking world views it as. And it's ridiculous. It is depressing. And people wonder why there's fucking kids doing all kinds of crazy ass shit when they hit 18. Because they don't know any fucking better. You throw their asses out there, throw them to the dogs, and you fucking expect them to come out champions when they don't even know how to defend themselves. And that is exactly the same thing with Pokemon and being called childish baby for representing it, wearing it on your clothes. Fuck it, dude. Roll up in a Squirtle shirt. Just a Squirtle shirt. See how many people fucking make fun of you, try and start shit over it. It's a fucking turtle, dude. It's a cute fucking turtle. It's simplistic in its design, and just wearing a simple shirt is... I don't know who would get triggered over that, but you can find the real assholes of your school or area if you just do that. And honestly, if they're going to fight you over a simple shirt, they have mental issues. They have problems of their own. Problems identifying with what they like. Problems being an individual. Individuals don't do that. Conformists do that. People who seek out to bully people do that. Garbage does that. When you're walking in your school and you're wearing Pokemon merch and you're playing your Pokemon games, you're not even bothering anyone. Okay, you're not even smelling. You're not offensive. If you smell just fine, then who the fuck has the right to come up to you and bother you? At the very least, if you smelled like ass or something, you were playing video games, someone could be like, hey man, maybe you should spend less time playing your video games, more time showering. And, you know, you would get grilled for that. But fuck, man, if you're minding your own business and you're not even bothering anyone, no one has the fucking right to judge you over what the fuck you do. It's ridiculous that that kind of standard holds true in high school, even to today. So, is Pokemon a baby game? I don't know. Did the gameplay footage in the background show you that a baby could play this game and get through it just fine? Do you think a baby would be a really good strategic tactician? Do you think a baby would be able to figure out which types to capture, which Pokemon to raise, and which Pokemon to have to put into the box after raising them for a certain amount of time and realizing they're just not strong enough, they're not going to make the cut? Would a baby be able to make those decisions? Do you think a baby would be able to solve the puzzles, get through Mount Moon, get through Dark Cave, find the HM Flash and cut? Do you think a baby would be able to do that? Do you think a child would be able to do that reasonably easily? That's up to you. Many children have played Pokemon, but they aren't really that young. Usually, the kids are 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. If you try to get a 6 or 5-year-old to play Pokemon, and they can't read that well, they're not going to get through the game. And that's all there is to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you show up to school with a Pokemon snapback on, like the ones I showed in my video, you have your Pokemon lunch pail, and people start talking mad shit to you, what are they talking shit over? Why do they want you to conform? Why do they want you to be something? They are taking the piss out of you because they are so afraid to be an individual themselves that they have to sit there, single out someone else for being an individual. And think about how many people in your school go to your school and don't say shit to you. It's just the few that are so afraid of being individuals that they can't stand it and they have to pick out and fuck with people because they have nothing fucking better to tribute to society. So that's my thoughts on it. I would say if anyone picks a fight with you, smash their teeth in. If they try to beat your ass over something you wear, I mean, you know, teachers, they aren't going to help you. Counselors are not going to help you. You're going to have to defend yourself, and that's all there is to it. If someone tries to take your shit because it's Pokemon, in real life, if you were 18, someone came up and tried to take your wallet because it had money in it, would you fucking stop them? Yeah, you would beat their ass, and you would take your wallet back. So it's the same thing. If somebody tries to fuck with you in school over what you wear or what you have, yeah, you're going to beat their ass. You're not going to run over and tell someone, oh, this guy stole from me. Oh, you are going to fix it, right? Yeah, the police might show up and they might do something and they might arrest him if they catch him, but first they got to catch him. And it's the same way with teachers. Unless you have the evidence to prove it, they ain't going to do shit. And they probably won't do shit even if you have evidence. So this is something you're going to have to solve yourself. And you know who I'm talking to out there in YouTube land. Plenty of people out there experience this on a daily basis, so I wanted to make a video about it. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and share it with everyone, because hopefully this will motivate someone to man up. Because I'm telling you, if you guys do this, if you guys do rock the boat, you walk in repping Pokemon, don't expect that those bullies are just going to magically leave you alone, but you need to stand your ground. If you never stand your ground, it's never going to end, and it's just going to be one thing after another. Eventually, if you don't even wear any Pokemon stuff or any other stuff that you like that would make you an individual, they're just going to fuck with you just to fuck with you, because they know you're not going to stand your ground. So why not? Wear the shit you like, be the person you like, and enjoy your high school years, because they're the last years you'll have before you have to worry about a shitty job, a shitty boss, what your shitty coworkers think of you, driving that shitty amount of time every day, getting ready in that shitty uniform. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have to say on that subject matter. If I did a comprehensive talk about this and you enjoyed what I had to say, please leave me a like down below. And I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming, and God bless.